Tap in, Cappies. This your girl, Prst Goddess. Welcome to Prst Goddess Presents Tarot 360 with a Capricorn collective reading.
Through such Hello, my beautiful Capricorn darlings. This is your updated personal reading. It will be coming to you once every month, and it's timeless. So, whenever you come across this video, now or in the future, it's when your angel guides have an important message for you. It's going to be in two sections. The first will be with regards to your zodiac sign. You will be receiving guided messages, and the second will be with regards to the day you were born to give it a more personalized reading. Check out the description box for detailed information, guys. Okay, there's important announcements on there. That being said, let's dive right into your reading. Divine Truth guided messages for my beautiful Capricorn darlings, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, as well as Your Earth. Information for the highest and brightest good to benefit them in every single way. We want clarity without ambiguity, the truth for Capricorn. Let's see, what does Capricorn need to know for their highest and brightest good? Okay, we've got not. It says delay, wait, sacrifice, disabled. Okay, so that could be coming in your past. That's an added bonus. We see discovery, with serendipity, opportunity, travel. We see strength, vitality, force, intensity, power. And we see bouquet, weak springs very soon. Okay, so what I hear is for some of you, you felt stuck in a certain situation in the past. You could be dealing with a Pisces or something happened during that season for you. Not necessarily, maybe even Leo, or even around spring for some of you. But there's something that feels like unexpected good luck. Like you free yourself from something that kept you tied. With this knot, maybe you tied the knot with the wrong person, okay? Or you did tie the knot, but I see opportunity for travel relocation, okay? And it's going to feel like unexpected good luck here. This opportunity is something that you should take. It will feel like a breakthrough situation for you with the strength, vitality, force, intensity, power, okay? Something is shifting. Power is now coming in your hands here. I feel it's the power to untie this knot, something that kept you stuck. Okay, someone did have a stroke watching me. I hear there's someone, or you know someone who had a stroke. I feel they're gonna recover. Okay, something made someone disabled. Someone's gonna feel better. Someone is gonna recover. I also hear that within weeks, for some of you, there's a breakthrough situation headed your way, an opportunity that leads to great luck, that leads to great life, that leads to a great relationship, that leads to money. Okay, money overflowing in your life within weeks, guys. For some of you, it could happen in spring coming up, the next spring of the time you watch the video. But the universe is saying it's pretty soon. This is a pleasant life with bouquet. Okay, flowers are meant to make perfume, so this is something pleasant. You're going to feel absolutely good about this, Capricorn. What's about to happen will make you feel absolutely great. It's a new life. It's a beautiful life. I hear beauty. So your life is going to be so beautiful. It's going to feel like a breakthrough situation for you. Okay, it's happening pretty soon. It's headed your way. This opportunity is headed your way, and the universe is saying, take it. Okay, that will spell the end, rather. That will spell the end of you being stuck in limbo. I see someone is waiting on something, or maybe they're waiting on this opportunity. It's going to come for you guys, okay? And you're going to love it, okay? It could be opportunity to travel. It could be for romance, okay? Someone might be dating long distance here. Take it whichever way. It could be opportunity for a new career. Okay, whatever it is, the universe wants you to take it. But get ready for a beautiful, pleasant life ahead. So, if this does resonate with you, you want to get more insight into your situation, click the day you were born and see you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, my viewers. For those of you who are born on Monday, this will be your spread. Okay, this is not a pick a card section. Okay, it's a personal reading, but this stone represents a selenite clear quartz mix. So it's associated with Monday, which is the crown chakra. Okay, And if you're born on Monday, when you're manifesting, I think I've done a video with regards to this, always manifest around the moon cycles, using the moon cycles, or around flowing water, ocean, bodies. Just be around there, try to meditate. It makes your manifestation work faster. Some of you love to study. You could be bookworms, or you love education. You might end up having a master's degree, MBA, PhD. Take it whichever way it does resonate, guys. So yeah, those of you born on Monday, your stone, this selenite it's associated with the crown chakra that deals with self-awareness, enlightenment, things like that. So let's get into your reading, guys. Those born on Monday, let's see what spirit has for you. We see judgment. Okay. We see the moon. Okay, those of you born on Monday, so the moon showed up. And we see the Six of Swords. Okay, so this is literally telling me that some of you will walk away from people, places, things that no longer serve you. You will make that conscious decision because your current energies with this moon showing up, the universe wants you to listen to your intuition with this moon card. Okay? Those of you born on Monday, Monday is called Monday because it's ruled by the moon. Okay? And your intuition tells you to walk away because you don't see light at the end of the tunnel. Some of you with this moon card energy, it's like, you have fears, uncertainties. Some of you have illusions, fears. There's something sacred here that needs to be revealed to you. But I feel listening to your intuition is making that decision to walk away from the past. Okay? People, places, things that don't support you. I feel there's travel on the cards for you. You will relocate for some of you to different cities here, or you're moving away from rippled waters to calmer waters. You could be dealing with a Pisces or even a Scorpio here for some of you here, but you're moving on, which is really, really good. Okay? This is moving on from a situation that was really dark. Maybe you experienced a dark night of the soul. I feel that karma, someone who did you dirty will feel karma. Some of you went through a nasty court case. Okay? You will heal from that. You will move on from that. A nasty court case is what I hear. I hear there's going to be karma for someone who does you dirty. I keep saying that. Some of you, I feel that someone tried to reconcile with you, but in the process you didn't see a future with this person, with this moon card energy. Some of you are confused, but you will walk away. Okay, you're moving towards something great for you. Yeah, if you have opportunity for travel. For some of you, I feel you don't see something coming. Maybe a possible relocation, a possible travel at this moment. Those of you born on Monday, you don't see this coming. It could be that you're making a decision to even divorce from a toxic ex. Maybe you don't see this coming because the moon shows something is not seen at this present time, but yet it will be revealed. Okay, something will be revealed and will move you towards wish fulfillment here. Okay. Okay. So let's see 3 warnings the universe wants you to know. Okay. We'll see 3 warnings and 3 major blessings. So the first warning we see is avoid bearing false witnesses. So maybe at your place of work or something, or in a relationship, someone is trying to influence you to say something that it's not true. Okay. If this comes your way, it's an absolute no. Okay. Don't bear false witnesses. We also see protect and secure your home. So for some of you, it could be a home, maybe your relationship, or it could be your personal home. The universe wants you to know that you need to maybe change your CCTV cameras. Maybe it has to do with your passwords on your laptop or something. Something needs to be changed or secured here. Okay. We also see do not kill. Okay. So for some of you, killing doesn't mean killing a person. It might be even an insect. It might be even a spider or something. The universe wants you to show gratitude by letting living things to leave. So just maybe drive it away, take it outside, or something. Kill also means that putting an end to something abruptly without giving an explanation, something like that. Okay. Do not, I also hear someone is wanting to commit an abortion. Okay. I hear someone might be pregnant. You could have been in a relationship with an individual and you didn't see light at the end of the tunnel. You may need to make a decision to abort. The universe is saying, although sometimes for medical reasons people do abort, but in this case, in your case, there might be something that we can't see that might affect you. So the universe is saying, no, don't. Okay. So with that being said, let's take a look at major blessings headed your way. Those are born on Monday, we see prosperity and great health. So when it comes to your money, okay, exponential wealth is headed your way and your health will improve. For those of you who are having health issues, and if not, then your health will continue to be great. We see income, salary increase. So for some of you searching for a job, you might land a job or you will gain some benefits, okay, when it comes to your salary. And finally, we see increase in investment. So it could be that you invested your time, your treasure, and talent into something. The universe is saying that you will reap the rewards. So this is absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful reading for those of you born on Monday. Okay, so thank you. And we will be moving to Tuesday. Hello, those of you born on Tuesday. This is going to be your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what Spirit wants you to know, but this stone here represents the red jasper, and Tuesday is named after Mars, and Mars is the planet of, ambitions, passion, aggression, and stuff like that is associated with red. And associated with the root chakra that deals with a sense of feeling secure, stable, well grounded, that sort of energy. Those of you born on Tuesday, you might do great in careers that has to do with protection, like military service, police, armed forces, even construction work, carpentry, stuff that fearless, like it requires energy, but I mean, you're fearless. Male, female, really doesn't matter. You will prosper doing those jobs. When it comes to your manifestation work, it's good to have, fire around you, like candles, coal, stuff like that. Even volcanic ash, like if you use it on yourself, I mean, it's known to be very, very great. Okay, those of you born on Tuesday. So let's get into your reading. Those of you born on Tuesday, let's see what Spirit has for you. Now, first card we see is the Nine of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Five of Swords. Those of you born on Tuesday, I see that some of you could have been with a narcissistic partner. And this person, it's either their way or the highway. They've done a lot of things to cause you anxiety, depression, lack of sleep, and they come with flimsy apologies here. Just be rest assured that this person will never change. It's either their way or the highway. This is someone who is oppressive, intimidating. They are selfish. It's everything about them. They want to win at all cost. So you can't trust them. Okay. So the universe wants you to know that even if your case is a relationship partner, they will come apologize, but yet do the same thing. Maybe after a couple of days, a couple of hours, they will never change. So it's left for you to say, no, I can't deal with this anymore. I don't want this anymore. Okay. For those of you born on Tuesdays, because this person will continue to do you dirty and then apologize and go back to the same character. Okay. So what this tells me is this is not for you. You might need to walk away from people, places, things that don't serve you anymore. As long as this is not a supportive situation, is an absolute no. Okay. You may need to walk away from it. Yeah, so let's see. With this Five of Swords here, it's you standing your ground as well. Okay, say no to the situation. Also, don't give up. Whatever it is, maybe this person wants to hold you back or wants to put you in a situation that is very, very stifling, or you feel like um, you're losing your power. Say no to it. Okay. Yeah, expect apologies though for some of you. Someone who does you dirty wants to come apologize, okay? So let's get three warnings for you and three major blessings headed your way. So we'll start with warnings. The first we see avoid dangerous partnerships. Yeah. Could be a romantic partner, it could be a business partner. Yeah, this person could be a romantic partner, it could be a business partner, could be a boss at your place of work. Okay, you might need to walk away from that. We also see avoid loans and debts. Guys, when it comes to taking out huge loans, we don't know about economic recessions. For some of you, it depends on which country you are at watching, but yeah, debt might not be good for you. Huge loans and debts, okay? Just at this time, we also see your neighborhood is not safe. Move, relocate now. For some of you, it's your neighborhood, not necessarily everyone, okay? For some of you, it could be a neighbor. You're living close to a neighbor who's dangerous or something. Okay, not necessarily does this mean, oh, pack your bags and move. If you could, if this message resonates with you, then you know it resonates with you, because I feel this is a specific message for someone whose intuition has been telling them about their neighborhood. So if your intuition has been telling you about your neighborhood, then this is confirmation from spirit. Now let's take a look at major blessings headed your way. The first, we see retirement benefit approvals. So for some of you, regardless of your age, we see retirement benefit approvals for you. So something is going to benefit you in a great way. For some of you, it could be with regards to your parents or a spouse or a family member, and will in turn benefit you. We also see wisdom. This is a situation that requires wisdom. Maybe you will be lucky going back to school, maybe to gain a master's degree, MBA, PhD, or you had to use wisdom to tackle a certain situation here. I feel you're going to be lucky when it comes to this situation, okay, with wisdom here, okay? Or is aspected with avoid loans and debt. So it's saying be wise about your endeavors. And we see knowledge. Yeah, so wisdom and knowledge. For some of you, this gives me heavy schooling vibes. Like you want to gain more knowledge, not necessarily even going back to school. Maybe you want to gain some skill or something. It will benefit you. It will be lucrative, and some of you will gain lots of finances doing this, okay, with wisdom and knowledge aspected this way. So if your case is going back to school, for instance, maybe you want to get a master's degree, MBA, PhD, you will be successful. Those of you who are teachers, you will also be successful as well. Okay, those of you who teach people, maybe you want to own your own institution or something like that, you will be successful. All right, so that brings us to the end of your reading, and see you in future readings to come. We will be moving on to those born on Wednesday. Okay, for my beautiful viewers born on Wednesday, this is your reading. Your stone is the lapis lazuli. Wednesday is ruled by Mercury, and I feel it's associated with the throat chakra, because Mercury rules decision making, communication, thoughts, things like that, words, and all that. Those of you born on Wednesday, you might be very, very prosperous doing jobs that has to do with travel, communication, speaking languages, being influential. You could be an airline pilot, or even anything that has to do with lots of thoughts being put into it, like design, fashion design, hairdressing, stuff like that. You will make a lot of money. When it comes to manifestation, anything that has to do with the air, like the rainwater or the wind, okay, when you manifest using those elements, it's known to work quicker for you. Okay, so with that being said, let us go into your reading. Okay, let's see what Spirit has for you. Those born on Wednesday, we see the Four of Swords, we see the Knight of Wands, and we see the Five of Pentacles. Now, let me tell you, there's someone headed your way, someone who ghosted you guys. Okay, this person, you're not speaking to this person. Okay, you're not speaking to this person, because I see with the Four of Swords, this person hurt your feelings, and I think you've healed from that, but they're returning. This person is passionately coming to pursue you. You have no contact with this person. It felt like a poor connection with the Five of Pentacles. For some of you, be careful. Could be an ex, not necessarily. For some of you, this other person, if it's someone that you like, maybe this person did not pursue you because they had money issues. Maybe they didn't have the right amount of money. This person is at a distance from you. So you've got to take it whichever way it does resonate. Some of you is an ex wanting to come back. It felt like a poor connection. The other of you is someone whom you like or you want to consider for a relationship, and this person, maybe money might be a factor here. Now, some of you, you're spending a lot of money. Be careful the amount of money that you spend. Don't be extravagant. Okay, that's what the universe is saying. It's time for you to save because of something that has to do with economy. Maybe it could be an economic issue here, money, a recession or something. Just the universe is saying don't be spending a lot of money. Some of you, I see travel on the cards, relocation. There might be a sudden travel here on the cards for you. It could be for you, it could be for a family member here. But yeah, something will give you peace of mind. You will heal and move forward here. But learn from the past. I also feel that some of you, someone who did you dirty, you will learn from that experience. And when this person returns, you might isolate them or isolate people with that kind of energy. You might say no, no more. Okay, that is what I hear for some of you. Okay, yeah, but be careful of excessive spending or be careful of people using you, exploiting you for money. Those born on Wednesday, be cautious. That is the message for you from the universe. Be cautious of someone exploiting you for the sake of making money off of you. Okay, because the Knight of Wands is someone you can't trust. One minute they're hot, they're cold, the other minute they're cold. So it could be someone who could ghost you. So just be cautious here. But yeah, you've got to take it whichever way it does resonate. But someone could be coming into your life as well. They want to pursue you, but money could be a factor. But yeah, the way and manner you guys will handle things is left for you. Okay. So let us get warnings for you. 3 warnings and 3 blessings. Let's start with warnings. What the universe wants you to know. We see a shocking news about someone passing away is on the cards. Now, I feel for some of you in the past, you might have heard a shocking news about someone who did pass away. Okay, with the 4 of Swords, yes. For some of you, will not resonate with everyone. Not even passing away. For some of you, it could be an ending, okay? Maybe an ending of something. But yeah, this is a warning. Don't let that affect you. For some of you, I feel you're moving on from that, okay? We also see international travel is beneficial for you, plan, but with caution. So for some of you, when it comes to international travel, be cautious. Like I said, I told you, I said some of you have traveled on the cards. So particularly international travel, okay, we don't know about terrorist attacks. We don't know if there are scammers or even people who could be fraudulent or something. Because I see with the 5 of Pentacles, someone could be losing money. So if this is you, will not resonate with everyone. Be cautious. We also see avoid anger or vengeance, okay? So vengeance, I hear vengeance. Someone who ghosted you, you might want to ghost the person back. With the 5 of Pentacles, the universe wants you to avoid that, okay? Or when anything that has to do with you being excessively angry, it could affect the organs. It could affect your mental, emotional, physical health, okay? So it's an absolute no. Anything that causes drama or anybody that causes drama, avoid that person. Anyone that causes you to be upset, avoid the situation. Now let's look into your blessings. We see your friendship with your neighbors will improve. So for some of you, maybe around the place you stay, maybe you're quiet, you're indoors, maybe you could be an introvert. For some of you, maybe you're not talking to neighbors, but I see there could be a neighbor or neighbors that would want to form a relationship with you, and I feel that's going to improve here. I see your bosses will favor you in every single way. For those of you working, people who are ahead of you, people who are your bosses, I feel they will favor you. It could be a possible promotion, it could be financial benefits, whatever it is, maybe with time, whatever, praises, rewards, they might praise your performance, something like that, something that will benefit you now and in the future. We also see loyalty. So there's someone, the universe will send loyal people your way, people who are going to support you. There could be someone you're dealing with right now that maybe you feel you can't trust. But yeah, I feel a situation, someone is going to end up being loyal to you. So even if a situation poses that they need to either support you and someone else, I feel they will end up supporting you. Okay, you will be lucky in that aspect. So it's a beautiful reading, guys. Those of you born on Wednesday, thank you for watching, guys. We will be moving on to those who are born on Thursday. Okay, so for those of you born on Thursday, welcome to your reading. This is the orange carnelian. Okay, so Thursday is named after Jupiter, and the orange represents the sacral chakra that deals with creativity, pleasure, you know, luck, great luck, expansion, things like that. Yeah, the sacral chakra. Those of you born on Thursday will make great naturally born leaders for the nation. So you might do great in politics, religious institutions, things that has to do with maybe expansion. You want to gain more knowledge to get a master's degree and be a PhD, things like that. When it comes to manifestation work, the natural element associated with you guys is the thunderstorm and lightning because Thursday, is named after Jupiter, and Jupiter is Zeus that deals with that thunderbolt. So you see, thunderstorm and lightning is one of the elements that you guys, I mean, it makes your manifestation work quicker. I mean, your angels work with that, and your manifestation will work very, very fast. Right. So, yeah, with that being said, let's get into your reading here. We got the Hanged Man, the Three of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. Okay, so what I get straight up is some of you felt stuck in limbo for quite some time, but that has come to an end. Okay, there's an opportunity. The road is open now to move forward. There's an opportunity for travel, for relationship for some of you. Okay, maybe I hear someone has been waiting to see their mother. I feel the way is open. You will be able to see her. If your case is love here, I feel that you've been waiting to be with the right partner, and there's an opportunity for you to get married again. Okay, could be someone choosing to come towards you. Could be dealing with a Pisces in the past, not necessarily so, but something happened during the Pisces season for you. But yeah, there's something that's going to feel like unexpected good luck. This opportunity is already here. I feel you've been planning for this for quite some time. For some of you, you've been planning to have a child, maybe to get pregnant. Okay, it's been delayed. Maybe you've been going through treatment, taking medication, maybe IVF, IUI, or something, whatever it is. But the road is open. I hear the womb is open now. You will get pregnant if your case is pregnancy. Your case is love, you're meeting the right partner. If your case is a career, there's an opportunity to forge forward. Okay, maybe you've been working, and you've not been appreciated at your place of work. Now the universe is saying you will be appreciated. The road is open. You could be dealing with a boss who's a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or some of you could have displacements on your chart, particularly Pisces, or something could happen during the Pisces season for you, but something will feel like unexpected good luck. Okay, get ready for love, to be nurtured. Okay, happy times with your family members, friends, very, very significant here. Okay, someone is moving forward to meet a spouse. Okay, specific message. I hear spouse, mother, mother-in-law. Yeah, something beautiful. It could be you. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful time ahead. Now let's get three major warnings for you and three major blessings. But let's start with warnings. It says avoid stressful daily routine and fatigue. Look at the handman, how stuck this individual is. So for some of you, you sacrifice a lot for other people. The universe is saying avoid stressful times because of your mental health, emotional health, physical health. Okay. What else we see? Act like a child to heal your soul. Have more fun. That's what the universe is saying. You need to have more fun. I feel in the past a lot of things were stuck, and that has caused you to forget what having fun is. Okay, to enjoy life. The universe is saying enjoy life, or the opportunity to enjoy life will pose itself pretty soon. We see avoid any toxic and negative family behaviors or traits. So for some of you, you could be experiencing, you could have grown up in a family that they had narcissistic traits or very toxic traits, and you don't like it. The universe is saying don't pick up those habits or avoid those people totally. It's okay to love from a distance. Now let's take a look at your blessings. It says no concern of death in the family. So pretty good. That's really, really good. So for some of you, maybe someone had passed away, or you heard someone had passed away, but moving forward, the universe is saying that you shouldn't be concerned, okay? At least any time soon. We also see fruitfulness and security. I told you someone's trying to have a child. Someone wants to get pregnant, okay? You will get pregnant, and that pregnant will not end up in a miscarriage. Maybe some of you, you've been going through miscarriages. No, this is definitely going to be a great pregnancy. For some of you, it's financial fruitfulness. You're gaining financial wealth and security. You're feeling absolutely abundant. You're feeling absolutely secure. Or even in your relationship, you're feeling that you're secure because this person might give you a ring. You might get married. Okay, I hear someone. You could have been dating someone for quite some time. The road is open, expect a ring. Okay, something makes your relationship more secure than ever before. Okay, we also see your neighborhood is safe, beautiful. So, for some of you, maybe you have fears around your neighborhood. The universe wants you to know that you are safe. So, it's a big blessing. Okay, so with that being said, thank you for watching and see you in the future videos to come. I will be moving on to those born on Friday. Welcome. If you're born on Friday, this is your reading. Your stone is a green adventuring. Now, Friday is named after Venus, okay? And Venus is a planet of love and material wealth. Now, the green adventuring, the green represents the heart chakra, okay? That deals with matters of love, beauty, and stuff like that. If you're born on Friday, you might do great doing works that has to do with finance, accounting, marketing, business, stuff like that. You'll do pretty good in those aspects. Also in poetry or anything that has to do with arts, beauty, things like that, you're going to do absolutely great. When it comes to manifestation, the things that you could use to manifest are, because Friday has both air and earth energy, because Venus, controls Taurus and Libra, you might need to have crystals, okay? Beautiful crystals. So manifesting with crystals around, for instance, if you want to manifest wealth, you could use green adventuring, citrine. If you want to manifest love, you could use rose quartz. And, if you want to manifest insight, you want to be more insightful, you could use the amethyst, things like that. So yeah, protection is obsidian, black tourmaline. Yeah, so you get the drift. So, and some of you could manifest using the clouds. You could be scrying using the clouds. Your angels could give you messages using the cloud shapes and stuff like that. It's suspended balance. That's the Libra energy. Okay. So with that being said, let's go deep into your reading. Let's see here. The first card we see here is the Fool, then the 10 of Swords, and then the 3 of Cups. Now, my darlings, congratulations. There's something that you did. It was risky, okay? And it ended up really bad. You put an end to it. You decided to take that huge leap of faith. The universe is saying the worst is over. Some of you felt betrayed, okay? Some of you did feel betrayed. The other of you, I hear someone did surgery. You took a risk to do surgery.
In brief, in numerology, the theory is predicated on your date of birth. So the month,
high
the day,
level
and the year
conversations,
you're born, why
life
you're
path
here.
numbers.
Normally only when what hit the fan, we want to know that. But we're all here for a purpose, a reason, and that's determined from taking the month, the day, and the year you're born. Your date of birth, though, is more immediate. That is what gives you your focus, your direction, to point you north on the compass. Your name, though, denotes your natural talents, gifts, skills, and abilities. What you do, who you attract to you, your philosophy, your career orientation. So when you combine both the name and of the birthday and the number of the name of the person, then you got a more composite picture of really the person's goal and purpose of being on this planet. All of us have a reason and a season. It's just what it is.
This is the highest level. The highest level is ownership. The highest level is power. The highest level is sovereignty. The highest level is higher consciousness. The highest level is when we own our own books.
Experts at a very high level this year. Not eye level, a high like that.
It's time for a high-level
We're
conversation.
here for another high level conversation. High level conversation. Tap in with the God. Peace, family. I'm 19 Keys, and you back for another high level conversation. Today, we're going to have a very beautiful, high level mathematical conversation. Today, I'm joined with a very legendary brother. You don't actually get to speak to too many individuals such as this man because there's only so many number ones on the planet Earth that can occupy a space at a particular point in time. This is a brother who's been doing this for decades in the game. So it's not somebody who just started. This is somebody who's been entrenched, right, into this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the numbers of our universe. I wholeheartedly understand and know that we live in a mathematical universe. The numbers are vibratory frequencies, and those frequencies can be matched with multiple different traits and understanding when you have the wisdom and the intuition and the power to be able to process that information. Once you align with the numbers within the universe, certain things become known to you. A lot of us have intuitive power, but not everybody has the mental processing power to be able to understand their intuition within the time frame to be able to gain the synchronicity, the meaningful knowledge within that coincidence, right? But this brother Lloyd Strayhorn, I believe that he offers us an opportunity to understand our intuition, understand the intuitive processes of the universe. Now, this is a person who is a astronumerologist. He utilizes the numbers to enlighten us on the divine reality and the fabric
I
of the
caught
universe.
this live yesterday.
Now,
You
this brother
talk
has
about
been on multiple
awesome.
shows, even from
This
the
was
Oprah
awesome.
show. Everybody knows Lloyd. And if you don't know, today you will be familiar with the master numerologist himself as he has joined me for a high level conversation. Hopefully today you'll hear your number and you can be able to utilize this knowledge to be able to coordinate within your life path and your destiny path and understand why you may see certain repeated numbers so you may not have to repeat the same mistakes over and over. Today, I am joined by none other than Lloyd Strayhorn. Appreciate you, brother.
Brother, I'm very honored to be here with you too. How you doing?
Man, I feel masterful. How about yourself, brother?
Good, good.
Yes, sir.
You know, the whole world is predicated upon numbers. You can't do anything without numbers.
That's right.
One time I did a challenge during the COVID shutdown. And you know, everybody is like, how long can you hold your breath challenge, all that stuff. And I had a Prst $100 bill. And I said, this $100 bill is yours. It's free. All you got to do is tell me how you're going to begin and end your day without using numbers. I've been trying to give that $100 bill away for quite some time. You can't do it. When you get up, the tendency is to want to know what time it is. You can't make a call. You can't receive a call. You can't watch a TV program or listen to a radio station because they all have frequencies. You can't do anything with numbers, without numbers. And as I tell, and I like to say to guys, suppose you met the most beautiful woman on the planet and you want to get to know her better, say, yo, boo, what's your number? She says, just call any number.
Yeah.
So you be calling till the cows come home.
Yeah.
But if you got the right numbers, the right 10 numbers in the right order, you get the person you're looking for.
That's a very masterful thought. Just that idea itself, you realize that each person is matched with a number, right?
Yes.
And that number is a frequency, and it literally is there to call that person. So even when you think about the idea of having a calling, but you have to be in tune with the right frequency in order to be attached to that calling, which most people may call a purpose.
That's exactly correct. So even if you look at a radio or TV station, it sends out a frequency that has, like here in New York, there's 107.5, then there's power 105.1. But those frequencies allow you to select your station, or I select my station.
And that's mathematics working in real time and not just on paper. That's mathematics working within the universe, within space-time frequency.
Yeah.
Right. And that's ontological mathematics, understanding the application of mathematics. See, I was taught that Islam was mathematics, right? And me, I'm a very
I don't want to hear nothing about
logical thinker, right? Everything has to add up.
Yeah,
it does
that
not
makes sense.
add up, then I can't
All y'all
accept it.
worried about
Yeah,
is some
right?
love
And so that's where
instead of some
even
knowledge.
within like, you know, faith and religion and things of that
I tell
nature,
you the damn truth.
it's harder for some
I'm
people
about
to
fed
take
up with
religion
y'all.
because they're so logical. And then
Mhm,
there's other people who aren't logical. They may be more faith-based,
mhm,
right? They may judge by their senses or they may judge by their feelings.
mhm.
So a person that is a feeler, right, it's easier for them to take faith than a person that has to be judged by their senses
Yeah.
because they have to observe and it has to be an observable truth in
Mhm.
order for them to be able to command their thoughts, to be able to process that and say, yes,
You know what? Y'all is some hold on a minute. You know what? Y'all some pitiful people. You know that? The minute I start playing something that's gonna put some knowledge in y'all head, y'all drop out the stream. See, all y'all worried about is the tarot readings. I'm gonna quit playing these damn tarot readings. Cause y'all ain't healed. That's why y'all ain't getting what you want. Listen, your numerology blueprint is a representation of how the numbers 1 through 9 are distributed within your overall numerology. The higher the percentage of any number, the more likely you are to feel the influence of that number compared to others in your chart. In your case, which is me, in my case, the traits and attributes of the number 1 exert a much greater influence than those of the number 7. My date of birth numbers, life path 9. I already knew that. My birthday, 12. First pentacle, 4. Second pentacle, 8. Third pentacle, 3. Fourth pentacle, 6. First cycle, 1. Second cycle, 3. Third cycle, 5. Karmic debt, 0. My name numbers, expression, 10, 1. Minor expression, 10, 1. We would say 10/1 on both of those. My heart's desire, 14/5. My minor heart's desire, 14/5. Hold on a second.
take this as wholehearted truth.
Well, that's true because that's one of the things about this ancient African sciences of astrology and numerology. All of this was by people over time began to observe that if you were born in a certain part of the year, you exhibited a certain characteristic. If you were born under a certain number, you exhibit a certain characteristic.
And say it don't ever fail. My personality number, 14/5. Heart's desire personality bridge, -0. Balance, 16/7. Cornerstone, D. Subconscious self, 6. Karmic lessons, 2, 6, and 7. Planes expression. Plane of expression, physical, 18/9. Plane of expression, mental, 10/1. Plane of expression, emotional, 9. Plane of expression, intuitive, -0. Hybrid numbers, maturity, 10/1. Life path / expression bridge, 8. Rational thought, 6. Okay. I thought I had downloaded this thing. I may have to go back and get the full one. Give me just a second. I'll get it for y'all.
So all of these things are defined by the masses of those who had the power of observation.
And you know, I believe in high level observation. You take in information, data, and you utilize that then to make decisions.
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
Like in science, you can do one thing once, and this could be considered a miracle. But if you can't repeat it, right,
Yeah,
then they don't take that as truth.
right. They don't define that as what is called the scientific method.
Right. And so it's the same thing in reality. I think that, you know, the idea of accuracy and the idea of truth. And sometimes accuracy is lost when people are searching for truth. Right. There was a famous I think he was an astrophysicist, I believe. But he was giving an example of if you ask somebody their height, they're going to say maybe 6 feet 2 inches. But it's not exactly accurate.
No.
Right? Because you know, now if you was judging by 6 feet 2 inches and a few centimeters, right? And then those centimeters stack up to 30 atoms, right? Now, you know, but when you're talking about truth, a person may tell you a truth, but the accuracy is not always there. So then you would ask a person, okay, is that accurate? And now a person has to come up with a completely different number. And accuracy can always be judged by the property of numbers. You understand me?
Yeah.
And so everything in our life has a property to it. Even if you are illiterate, you can still do arithmetic. You can still do math. So you can speak the language of mathematics without actually speaking the language of man, because the language of mathematics is the language of the universe.
Yeah. And in fact, when I had the occasion of meeting Minister Farrakhan on several occasions, he explained that what I did was called supreme mathematics. In the 5% nation, they also call it supreme mathematics. And in fact, the universal language on this planet is mathematics.
Yeah, I mean, that's the breakdown of the 5, the 10, and the 85ers. You understand me? The 85 is the lost found. Right? Then you have those who utilize that knowledge against the lost found. Then you have those who have the knowledge itself. And everybody, you know, I look at the world in percentages, right? By the numbers, because everybody is breaking down in different categories. Earlier, I was talking to you about Myers-Briggs type, which are different personality types. Some personality types are rarer than others, right? So that if I meet some people, let's say that only 2% of the world think, feel, and judge the world in the way that you do. So now if you go on a large platform and you give your opinion, express the opinion about something, the way you see things, most people are going to be like, I never thought about that before. I've never heard of that. It's going to be harder for them to accept that first because it's not the common truth of the land, right? Now, what I want to get to, number one, I want to start with what is the most common number, right? Or most common life path or destiny path that people have?
The most common number that people have as a life path would be 3s and 5s. Universally, though, the most common number seems to be revered and understood and respected as the number 7. Because 7 is nature. From 7 days in a week, 7 notes in the musical scale, 7 colors in the rainbow, the 7 continents. And in fact, the majority of the founders of religions are 7s. Buddha is born on the 7th. Christ's birthday celebrated on the 25th. 2 plus 5 is 7. Elijah Muhammad, the founder of the Nation of Islam, was born October the 7th. Billy Graham was born on the 7th. Bishop Desmond Tutu was born on the 7th. Charles Russell, that founded Jehovah's Witnesses, was born on the 16th. 1 plus 6 is 7. Mary Baker Eddy, that founded Christian Science, was not only born in the 7th month, but on the 16th day. 1 plus 6 is 7.
Right.
Even in the Bible, they talk about they circled the walls of Jericho 7 times. They sounded the trumpet 7 times, and the walls came tumbling down. And as you know, when a Muslim goes to Medina to make his Hajj in Mecca, he must circle the Kaaba stone 7 times, and the rite is complete.
Right. And then in your book, you give a breakdown of the 7 wonders of the world. 52 weeks, 5 plus 2, 7. And then the 7 days of the week. So
7 holes in the body. I mean, it's just incredible how 7s are just, it's God's number.
Now that's very powerful, even 7 colors, right? So, but within that, now think about that, right? That number 7, and really there's a few numbers that I want to get to first, and then we can get a breakdown of some of the other ones. But You know,
Hey, Princess
7
Twilight,
is
how
an
you
odd
doing, love?
number.
Yes, it is.
You understand me? But at the same time, it's a very powerful one because time is governed by sevens. You understand me? When we talking about the 7 days of the week, we live in that cycle every single day, right? Like we have cycles within our day, right?
Yeah.
But we are on a 7 day cycle, and we don't think about that. But see, in our day, they call them ultradian cycles, and we have these 90-day cycles where we can go through probably around 3-4 times, where we have peak performance, right? Where our brain is at its height, and then we go through a mental recession, and then we have to go through an ultradian healing process where it takes about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we have 90 minutes of probably like peak performance in these cycles. It goes down for about 20 minutes. It comes.
I caught this live stream. I caught this live yesterday. High level couple. This was nice. I'm trying to put knowledge in people's head, but it's like as long as I'm playing those readings, I get a bunch of readings. But when I start trying to put some real knowledge in their head, it all goes along with. You need to know all of this in order to get a complete blueprint of what's really going on. See what I'm saying? Like, okay, my life path number is a 9. Your life path number is the number of completion and resolution. Those with life path number 9 tend to have a humanitarian and almost a utopian quality to their very being. Because of your passionate, philosophical nature, you are likely to be drawn toward global issues that deal with helping the whole humankind. See what I'm talking about? This is what I always say, that this is my purpose, to raise the vibrations, to help heal the world. I can't make this shit up. Can I? Can I make it up, Princess Twilight? It's telling you right there your life path number. My life path number is 9. Let me say it again for those in the clouds. Those with the life path number 9 tend to have a humanitarian and almost a utopian quality to their very being. Because of your compassionate, philosophical nature, you are likely to be drawn toward global issues that deal with helping the whole humankind. I tell y'all this every day. And the world. Be wary of overextending yourself, of sacrificing too much of yourself, and of losing the greater perspective in the pursuit of your goals. It never fails. Every time I start doing something, I'll be right back, y'all.
Back up for another 90.
Hello.
And so that's one cycle within our day. Then we have circadian cycles within a 24-hour cycle, right? Which would be a 6, right? But then we go through a 7-day cycle, right? Now, most people in society are living on this 7-day cycle, and they don't think about it, but that's what governs their reality.
Yeah, and
right?
we have 7 days in a week.
Right, 7 days in a week.
And in fact, if you look, when a child reaches age 7, it is the age of reason. When they reach 14, which is twice 7, it is the number of puberty. When they reach 3 times 7, which is 21, then you become legal. 7 times 7 is 49, which is called a very important year. So 7s are always very, very important. In fact, if a person owns a dog or a cat, for every 1 year you make, it's 7 years for your cat or your dog. If you look at world history is 70 years. 70 years in world history equals 1 day. So if you look at the United States, which is only 200 and something odd years old, well, by history and world standards, it's considered a baby nation. Yeah. It's only 2 or 3 days old. Right. And some months.
But see, now that's interesting in the concept that they said that the world was created in 7 days.
Yes.
What we know as days today is not what days have always been, though. Because the days that we know now are constructed based on calendars.
Yes.
Right? So a cycle of a day is considered to be, based on a 24-hour cycle rhythm of the sun. Right? But at the same time, as you just gave that broke down, a person can think about a day being a larger cycle rather than smaller cycles to where we go about it, right, in our common day today.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of understanding how these cycles work. And it's not just with 7. Nikola Tesla said those who understand the 3, 6, and 9 also understand the universe.
Right.
So if you look at an astrologer, each planet is either 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 360 degrees. but they all add up to the digit of a 3, 6, or 9.
That makes sense. I mean, even the threes within a month, because most months are 30 days.
They're 30 days at the rule.
Right? And that's a cycle within itself. And then, but at the same time, you know, the number 13 governs time with the moon, but man's calendar is 12. What's the difference between the number 13 and 12 as far as power cycles?
Well, in the tarot deck, the 12th card is called the Hangman. It's a picture symbol of a man hung upside down by his ankle. It denotes mental suffering and anxiety of mind, that if a person is not careful, they become the victim or the sacrifice for the plans and intrigues of others. So 13, though, is called the death card. In the picture,
Okay, I'm back, y'all.
The 13, it's a skeleton with a...
I'm back. Cold out here. Oh, I had to step outside for a second. Oh, yeah. But I tell you, every time I start doing something, that damn phone start ringing. It don't never fail. As long as I'm sitting here not doing a damn thing, it won't do shit. It'll just be silent. Okay, now. Okay, my expression number. The expression number, sometimes referred to as destiny number, is another important core. It's a very important core number. It symbolizes the talents, gifts, and abilities that were with you when you entered your human body. Your expression number is derived from all the letters in your full birth name. Trying to get these lips right, y'all. It's cold like that, though. First name, Deanna. For those of y'all who don't know my name, my given name, Deanna, Deanna. 4 plus 5 plus 1 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1 equals 21 equals 3. Okay. Middle name, Marie. M plus A plus R plus I plus E equals 4 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 5 equals 28 equals 1. Last name, Hall. That's my maiden name. Hall. Okay. H plus A plus L equals 8. Plus 1 plus 3 plus 3 equals 15 equals 6. Your expression / destiny number equals 3 plus 1 plus 6 equals 10-1/1. Okay. The 1 expression number indicates you are independent and individualistic. It represents the risk taker in a pioneering spirit. Self-reliant, confident, and perhaps sometimes overly opinionated. I guess that's true, right? You are more likely to try the untested and new things. You like the freedom to choose your path and make your own decisions. Be wary of being overly competitive and too self-centered and critical of others. I can be that. That's true. My heart's desire number. My heart's desire number, sometimes referred to as your soul urge number, is another core number. It represents the inner you, the urges and motivation behind your decisions, the choices you make, and the actions you take. My heart's desire number is derived from the vowels in my full name, in my full birth name. Okay? The results. Deanna Marie Hall. First name, E plus A equals 5 plus 1 plus 1 equals 7. Middle name, A plus I plus E equals 1 plus 9 plus 5 equals 15 equals 6. Okay. Last name, A. equals 1. Equals 1. My heart's desire soul urge number equals 7 plus 6 plus 1 equals 14/5. The 5 heart's desire number hints at your deeper craving for freedom, new experiences and change. Imaginative, creative, enthusiastic, and resourceful. You are more likely to travel, seek adventure, and tend to be drawn to the less conventional and more original ideas, opportunities, and people. See what I'm talking about? They'll never fail. I ain't answering this time. Your personality number. The personality number represents what you send out and share with others. It symbolizes how the world and those around you might perceive you. Your personality number is derived from the consonants in your full birth name. Results for Deanna Marie Hall. First name, D plus N plus N equals 4 plus 5 plus 5 equals 14 equals 5. Middle name, M plus R equals 4 plus 9 equals 13 equals 4. Last name, H plus L equals 8 plus 3 plus 3 equals 14 equals 5. Okay? Yeah, I like poetry. I love singing. I'll be trying to sing. I love music, period. I love poetry too. Those with the personality number 5 tend to appear more adventurous, stimulating, passionate, and witty. Your freedom-loving and adventurous personality is often the envy of others. You can be an inspiring influence on those around you because you can seem aloof. Some may think of you as a dependable or a reliable person. Be wary of appearing superficial and try to be more grounded. My numerology chart summary. Okay. Your birth name, Deanna Marie Hall. My current name, Deanna Stanford. Date of birth, January 12th, 1976. 9, it says 22.9%. 8, 3.6%. 7, 3.1%. 6, 8.9%. 5, 19.8%. 4, 3.6%. 3, 12%. 2, 0%. 1, 26%. That's the dominant in my chart is the 1, 26%. Your numerology blueprint is a representation of how the numbers 1 through 9 are distributed within your overall numerology chart. The higher the percentage of any number, the more likely you are to feel the influence of that number compared to others in your chart. In your case, the traits and attributes of the number 1 exert a much greater influence than those of the number 7. Date of birth numbers. Life path 9. Birthday 12. The 12. First pentacle 4. Second pentacle 8. Third pentacle 3. Fourth pentacle 6. First cycle 1. Second cycle 3. Third cycle 5. Karmic debt 0. Okay. My name numbers. Expression 10/1. Minor expression 10/1. Heart's desire 14/5. Minor heart's desire 14/5. Personality 14/5. Heart's desire personality bridge, it says 0. Balance 16/7. Cornerstone D. as in my name, Deanna. Subconscious self, 6. Karmic lessons. See what I'm saying? How important this shit is? Karmic lessons for my name numbers, 2, 6, and 7. Planes of expression. Plane of expression physical, 18/9. Plane of expression mental, 10/1. Plane of expression emotional, 9. Plane of expression intuition, 0. So I don't really know what all this means. You know what I'm saying? I just really know about, what my numbers were, but I don't really know the whole, like, in depth of them. See, that's what I'm saying. I got to get more into it too. Maturity, 10/1. Life path / expression bridge, 8. Rational thought, 6. Okay. Now that's all they got for me there. Now it says, we hope you enjoyed your free numerology chart. If you'd like to learn more about the numbers within the numerology chart, we offer an extensive numerology profile report that includes detailed explanation. That's $14.95. All right, go ahead and get that. I got to go put some money on my PayPal card so I can get that there. But yeah, I love all that. See what I'm saying? How important this is? And then you see how he was talking about the hangman and tarot. Y'all, all they worry about is the card readings. But all this here ties into the card readings. When you be hearing these readers calling out these numbers and stuff, and they tell you you need to learn, you need to find out what these numbers mean. But y'all too dumb to do that. Y'all just want to hear about some love and shit. Y'all need to go within and heal yourself. Then love come to you. Ain't that right, Princess? Listen to Lord. This is Lord Strayhorn, a world-renowned numerologist.
So people in their not knowing or lack of knowledge looked at it as a literal death when it's really a symbolic death. It's a death to old ways. So it says those who understand the 13 is given power and dominion. So if you took the United States, for example, although it is the 4th day of the month, July 4th, this whole structure was predicated upon the 13. 13 stars, 13 stripes, 13 naval ships guarded the colonies, E pluribus unum, 13 letters, the White House, 13 letters, don't tread on me, 13 letters. And so even the word assassination is 13 letters, So 4 has always, and 13 has always been very important to the United States. If you look at the dollar bill, you got the eagle that holds 13 arrows, 13 claws. It's got 13 stripes. It's got 13 clusters above the head. If you take the protractor to the triangle.
Y'all see how all these numbers and stuff, like that sacred geometry that I be podcasting, all these numbers and life paths. You see how all these symbolisms and everything coincide. That's why I call it all things spiritual, which is the esoteric, the occult, sacred geometry. All of this ties in together, my loves. To get an overall picture of who you really are, that's why I stress so hard about your birth charts. You need your birth chart. You need to know all your placements. You need to know what's in your houses. Like I say, every house, each house represents certain things in your life. 12 houses like the 12 zodiac. One is community, one is religion, one is family, one is career. All of this, you need to know all of this. Your Jupiter placement in your chart is a very important thing because that is where your prosperity lies, my love. Y'all, that's all y'all worry about is money. So y'all need to learn. For those who love money so much and want to know where their prosperity comes, you need your birth chart to find out where your Jupiter is. Mine is in Aries. That's why I'm so, I guess, ambitious and hard-headed on top of being a Capricorn. And we hard workers. Everybody know we Capricorns about our money because that's the first thing y'all say. Y'all Capricorns about that bad. We damn sure is. We lucky like that too. We blessed. I had never met a Capricorn who was broke. We can be broke one day and have plenty of money the next day because we manifest.
Well, on the back of the dollar bill is 67 degrees. Well, 6 plus 7 is 13.
Watch what he's listen to what he say about Capricorns when he gets
so
to
if
it.
you then go to the root of 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. A president is elected every 4 years.
Yeah, 4 cycles.
Then Washington, D is broken into 4 quadrants: northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. The area code to Washington is area code 202. Yes, and the zip code is 20002, which is a 4. So everything about it is predicated upon the 4 or its higher octave, the 13.
That's powerful. See, that just gets me deeper into the idea of understanding the cycles of man, time, and the universe.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, a woman's menstrual cycle is considered to be a Ophidian cycle. So it's outside of just 24 hours. But a woman goes through that cycle 13 times throughout the year.
That's exactly right.
Me? And so that, you know, you have the old world calendars that's represented based on the moon, right? The lunar, but the new man calendar is based on the solar. So when man started to control time, his was based on himself.
Yeah.
Right. But when it was revolved around the woman, it was based on the universe. You understand me? And the correct cycles that keep us in balance. And we live out of balance when we live within man's time, right? Yeah. So when a person starts to grade their life by a set cycle, that's not correct because that's not the way nature is composed, right?
Well, nature is a whole different energy against man-made or contrived time.
Right.
So for example, the moon is always associated with a woman. So on the day the woman has her first day of her menses, that's considered a new moon. 14 days from her menses is her ovulation, which they call a full moon. So back in the 70s or 80s, it was a popular thing then called the rhythm method. The women knew that on the day of their period, all they had to do is count 14 days from the day it started, and they knew that's when their ovulation cycle would be very hot. They wanted to conceive or not to conceive and stuff like that. So all these things, now fast forward, all the women got to do is download a fertility app.
Yeah. Well, see, that's dope though, right? So like, and this is why I was studying these cycles, because it's like, all right, I find myself sometimes where I can have peak performance, right? Where my highest level of thinking, right, is in existence, right? I'm at that gamma frequency where, you know, creativity, focus, I have emotional resilience. It's at a very high peak intuition. So that's when I should be working on things. When I'm waking up, you know, going through that circadian cycle, that's more so for thinking, right? So if I'm doing a interview in the morning when my thinking mind is performing at my best, that's when my brain is firing. So for me, understanding my cycles allow me to live in existence and according to my nature, right? And how the universe provides for me. And now each individual is different though. So that's why I feel like there's the practicality in understanding the numbers. Because if you'd have told a woman, all right, count from 14, now she understands the significance of this number 14. Right, but before that, you'd be like, "What's these numbers about?" Yeah, but everything is operated on numbers.
Guide you in everything you do.
Yeah,
I mean, you imagine a world without numbers. Imagine trying to watch a sports game without numbers.
Right,
who's winning? For an athlete to have his or her number retired from the franchise is an honor, never to be worn again as long as the franchise exists.
And see that goes to that old saying: millionaires don't believe in astrology, billionaires do.
Yes, that quote came from J.P. Morgan, born on April the 17th.
Yeah.
In fact, Evangeline Adams, an astrologer back in her day, she was born on February the 8th. She actually taught J.P. Morgan astrology, which is why J.P. Morgan didn't get on the Titanic when it sailed in April of 1912, because it sunk. Yeah. But Mercury was retrograde at that time when it left Ireland to go to New York, because originally J.P. Morgan he owned the White Star Line, okay, which owned the Titanic. So he had a huge promenade on there, and it was supposed to have landed in New York on his birthday of April the 17th of 1912, but he didn't go. But less than a year later, on March 31st, 17 days before his birthday, that's when he died.
Wow. And see, most people, you said the White Star Line, it got me thinking of Marcus Garvey, because he created the Black Star Line.
And he also was because of the White 17th. Star Line. He was born on the 17th too, August
So
17th.
people focus a lot on nutrition, body wise. You know, I'm gonna feed this particular system of the body. I'm gonna feed that system. Very rarely do people speak about the mind. Very rarely do people speak about the brain. The brain needs the most energy, right? The brain is needed to process. The brain is needed to, compartmentalize. The brain is needed for so many things, but we don't know what brain food looks like. You know, we know that the body's electrical, and what I understand about gold is not only is it super conductive, but it's non-corrosive and it's a noble element. So they say that if I am what I eat, I want to be noble. You know what I'm saying? I want to be of the highest degree, and I also want to focus on mental health. I want to focus on gut health. I want to focus on energy. I want to focus on youth. I want to focus on, accessing pineal activity, hormonal balance. Everything the goal represents is what I want to see more of. So, what better thing to do but align myself with this particular product and get it out to as many people as I can by singing the praise of gold, which is something that our people have been doing for over 10,000 years. So what about the number 5 in the month of Taurus, right?
5 is always indicative of change. The 5 senses, the 5 fingers, things of that nature. 5 represents freedom, flexibility. It tells me people who are normally born in the 5th month have the ability to walk before they were 1 year old, because they're very smart, very engaging. 5 is ruled by the planet of Mercury, which is the planet of communications, multifaceted, multi-talented, multi-dimensional. And since 5 is ruled by air, I tell anybody dealing with an air person, the best way to keep them is to let them go.
I like that. I like that. So I bring that up, right, because in the month of May, right, you have some extraordinary people. You understand me? You got Malcolm X, you got the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you have Mother Tanetta, where she used to study the 19 code. Then you have Shakespeare, you have The Rock, you have Dame Dash, right?
Yeah.
Number one, all of the men in that categories, excluding Shakespeare, very masculine, right? Black men. You understand me? Now, what is it about that month of May that produces, number one, some of the greatest truth speakers on the planet Earth?
Well, don't forget, 5 is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of communication. A person who has the ability to speak and articulate the thoughts and feelings of the culture, the community, humanity, whatever the case is. And probably one of the greatest eloquent speakers in May was, in my opinion, Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Self-taught.
And he was the 19th.
19th, yes.
So he had a lot going on right there.
People born on the 19th are normally, if they either have it in their name or born in their birthday, they normally excel in life. John H. Johnson that founded Johnson Publication, Ebony, Jet, and all those other magazines underneath it was born on the 19th. If you look at Smokey Robinson, he cranked out songs for days, and even now, and those who were doing the 60s, even now still popular, born on the 19th. So people that are born on the 19th or possess the 19 in their name are very, very fortunate. Because in fact, Dr. Martin Luther King's father was born himself on the 19th of December. So 19 is very important. And in fact, they call the 19 the Prince of Heaven. It denotes honor, success, and esteem. It is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and they're both fire numbers. Yeah. Which means they're very proactive. 5 represents people who don't sit around, they take action. I hear what you're saying, brother, but what you gonna do? Right. There's a big difference.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, we like execution. I took on the number 19 first, and I didn't know that the journey would become so deep after taking on this number. But it first came from Masterful Art of Muhammad. And he had a quote there. He said there's 17 million original people and there's 2 million Indians. And he said that represents the 19 million rusty locks, right? And those 19 million rusty locks can be unlocked by 19 million well-oiled keys, right? And that was a representation of the bandhas, or, a representation of knowledge or enlightenment or truth, right? That can enlighten the people, right, and awaken them to where they can never be oppressed again into that mind of God, right? So my journey is actively enlightening people.
But that makes sense to me, because if I took your month, your day, and your year of birth, it factors out to a number 1. So your destiny number is a 1. So if people are not familiar with numerology terms, I put it in a way where it kind of makes common sense. It tells me symbolically you are in the 1st grade in the school of life. And people who have a 1 destiny are your pioneers, your innovators. They go where no person has gone before. And in fact, the year you were born in adds up to 19. Were you aware of that?
The year I was born, 5-4-90.
If you add 1990, 1 plus 9 plus 9 equals 19.
Oh yeah, I always go to 10 then 1, but yeah, it is a 19.
Yeah, when I add all 4 numbers across, 1990, 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 0 equals 19.
And even my personality type, I think it's, what was it, ENTJ or INTJ, and once you add it up, I'll put it in what's the system? Not Cabbalism, but where you gematria.
Yes.
Yeah, it comes out to a 19 as well. So that 19 is it's in there.
Yeah, it means the beginning and the end. You know what I'm saying? It's the alpha and the omega. So, and as I tell people, if they don't want to hear the truth, they shouldn't talk to a number 1 or a number 9. So when you compose both those numbers, and the person that really personified that was Malcolm X. And he would say, I don't care what it cost me my life.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And he lived his stuff.
That number 19 represents truth, represents all truth, not just truth.
Does.
Right?
Yes, it
so that 1, I always get that breakdown. That 1 is a representation of, of course, the beginning. And then that 9 is a representation of the end, because all energy of the numbers exists between 1 through 9. There is no stronger pair that you can put between a 1 to multiply it than a 9. Right. And so I look at the numbers as all 1. So a 2 is just 2 1s, a 3 is just 3 1s, a 4 is 4 1s. So one thing I always tell people is, it's not about who's number 1, because we're all 1s. Right.
If you think about it like
just
that,
of different frequencies. Right. But when you're talking about all truth, right, we're talking about everything that exists between that 1 through 9 is all there.
Yeah.
So even your knowledge, your belief, your system all exists between that 1 through 9 system. And nothing exists outside of it, because once you add it up, it recycles itself back down to a 1, and all that knowledge exists there. So for me, that number 19 represents cosmic order. It represents life and death. It represents male and female, right? It represents as above, so below. Right? Within and so without. All of that is a representation of the number 19.
Because it represents completion. Because if a person says, well, what about 10? Well, 1 plus 0 is back to 1. What about 11? 1 plus 1 is back to 2. So the numbers basically go no higher than 1 to 9. So anything above that, they call it the Fadic system, FADIC. So if a person is born on a 12th, they would be a 3, because 1 plus 2 is 3. But so you always got to go back to the root number.
Right. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the Theology of Time was given a breakdown. He had a brother that draw a hyphen on the board and put a 0 at the end of it. And, he say that 0, he say, see, you can't tell the value, where it starts and where it ends. There's nothing to grade from there. And he said that represents nothing, right? But he said that represents us.
Yes.
He said, now take that same 1, the 0, and I want you to put a 1 in front of it. You put that 1 represents God giving us value.
Yeah.
He taking something and he making from nothing, he making something by putting himself next to us.
And the more zeros you put behind that 1, the more valuable it becomes.
Right. And the more people that are awakening, right, to that God. So it was a dope representation in the way that he was giving the breakdown, because he was utilizing numbers to understand it, because he said the 0 is a representation of that never-ending knowledge, wisdom, and truth, right? But once you put that 1 next to it, it multiplies the value of it.
Yeah.
Right? Now, it got me thinking about, though, if that number 1, that one God has always been probably one of the biggest things that people fought, polytheism and monotheism, right? But all things start from, 1s and 0s.
Yeah,
right?
well, the whole computer predicates, is predicated upon just ones and zeros. Those are the formula that feed all the information goes in computers.
So the
Just
number
ones and
one, though,
zeros,
people that have a life path as a number one,
which you
right?
do in your
what
case.
does that represent?
It means people who are your pioneers, people who are your innovators, people who deal with the first principle. You be the first person to do this, and although it was never your intention. So, for example, you may have been the youngest of your brothers and sisters, but the first to leave home, the first to go to school, the first to finish school. But there's always going to be something about your life that's going to make you a number one. Because your destiny number, the month, the day, and the year you're born is a one. And ones are your pioneers. They're your creative people. They're your visionaries.
So now, you was the first when I started to understand that the day that you was born, right, is considered your what?
The day you're born is considered the compass that points north. It symbolizes north on your compass. See, your date of birth represents what you must learn over a long period of time by taking the month, the day, and the year. But it is your date of birth that's more immediate. So in your case, born on the 4th, that is your more primary birthday. That is what affects you more than anything. And 4 represents people who would like to be different. In fact, I describe 4 as the number of secret enemies, because people are either jealous of you, envious, or insecure. And the only reason why is 4s are very visionary. They say and do things way ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what creates it. So if you look at Stevie Wonder, who did Inner Visions of My Mind with no sight, that album, I mean, just the way he did it, but he's a 4. 4s are different.
So he got his vision from the 4.
Yeah, 4s are futuristic.
Right there, boy.
So it's like reading, it's like taking a test. Can you read the word? Yes. But do you understand the words? That's a whole nother thing.
Right. And see, that to me goes towards processing power, right? Because you talk a lot about intuition, right? And the psychic powers of the mind. Because once you tapped in, I believe, to the numbers, you become very intuitive, because the numbers are the fabric of things.
Yeah.
But having a mathematical processing power type of brain allows you to understand, right, the synchronicities that you feel or that you see.
Yeah.
Because most people feel like, man, I feel I should do this, but you can't understand it because you don't have that mathematical processing power.
Yeah.
So you have to operate either on the blind faith of the feeling, or other people, they get to operate by actually understanding it. I know what this means.
Yeah.
Right? And now they can act off that knowledge.
But see, and the beautiful part about when you go to the birthday, it sets up for me the stage of the foundation. So, for example, born on May the 4th, you would be an earth sign with an air number, which means very pragmatic, which is the nature of an earth sign. And then very logical in your reasoning, which is the power of deduction. 4 rules of mechanical, mathematical sciences, computers, technology, engineering, the media, radio, television, technology in all forms. 4 represents people who are very sensitive, very, very unique. And 4 people, I jokingly say, they may forgive you, but they never gonna forget when you did them an injustice.
Oh, no, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you forgive them, but like, yo, I'm still gonna remember what you did to me, brother.
How did that become so funny, though? How did that become so funny?
Well, probably because of other makeup in there, because Tauruses are always a very entertaining sign too. See, and that could make a difference. But once I know a person's numbers, then it tells me, in your case, your numbers are the 4, 1, and 5. So what does that mean? And see, coming out of Harlem, I would tell people that's their attitude. What does it mean? And it means your best days are always on Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. These are always your power days to do things of consequence. Then it tells me what dates would be important to you, such as the 1st, the 4th, the 5th, the 10th, the 13th, 14th, then the 19th, the 22nd, 23rd, 28th, and 31st of the month. And then it tells me your power months are normally in and around February, June, July, August, and September. You know, so if you look at the birthdays of your mom or dad, they could have been born on a date that's a 1 or 4 or 5. And they could have been born in a month around late January into February, late May into June, July, August, and September. And you know, it's interesting, speaking of the United States history too, in May, do you know in the 200 and some odd years of history, no president has ever died in the month of May?
That's a protected month right there.
Yeah, so if the president says, listen, Stray, listen, I need to know when can I walk among the populace, okay?
Yeah.
I
You
say
can do
you should
your
pick May.
boldest things in
And May
May.
7th, no president yet has died on the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th. And no president's ever died in the month of May. So there's always something about oddities with numbers.
And I was looking up, so the most popular birthdays, September 9th and September 19th. Now, my parents' birthdays are September 17th. They have the same birthday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They both born on the same day, September 17th?
Yes.
Okay, that's
So
interesting.
I got a lot of Virgos. I got a brother that's his birthday on September 19th. I mean September 9th. And his daughter's on the 9th as well. And then I got the other two twin brothers. Theirs September 4th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's this interesting to me. My mother was a Virgo. Out of 6 of my children, 3 of them are Virgos.
Yeah.
And my youngest is born September 17th.
So that's that pops because everybody get busy in December. You understand? They start popping out the babies.
It's cold, brother.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of cozy up there and get warm a bit.
Start creating numerical frictions. Let's see what's going on. It's mathematical. Oh man, I wanted to talk to you about a few different things I got written down because one of the things you give a breakdown in your book is about the 4 planes of thought and the 4 levels of living: physical,
Yes.
mental, emotional, and intuitive. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, there are certain numbers that are found on the plane. The 4 and the 5 are found on the physical plane. The physical plane is those who like to examine things, okay? They are the ones who will take something, form, or whatever the case, and work with that in the physical world. The number 1 and 8 are found on the mental plane. Those are the business numbers. You know, they're about logic and reasoning and, you know, does it make sense and stuff. This is why 1 people and 8 people appear to be cold or distant because, and it's not that they lack in feelings, it's just they have logic. And that's why they're on the mental plane. Then the emotional planes are your 2s, your 3s, and your 6s. Those are the ones that express things through feelings, intuitions, hunches. These are your artists, musicians, your actors that get into character, that expresses themselves. And then you got finally the intuitive plane, and those are the only 2 numbers of the 7 and the 9.
Yeah, see, I know I exist in like multiple planes.
Yeah. So we all have various levels, and that's determined by taking the numbers in your name and seeing how many 1s you got, how many 2s you got, how many 3s you got. That I explain in my book too, called The Magic Box.
So the magic box. So with names now, because the names, you know, each have a numerical value.
Yes.
So that's the sense of being able to add up the numbers of your names. And I understand that all numbers have a numerical frequency. Numbers are symbols. So from a visual standpoint, once you look at a number, it has a frequency attached to it. Frequencies based on it being a symbol, right? So like that's going to go deep into your subconscious. I always say you can't tell a symbol, no, right? It goes directly.
I had to look up that number 0 in that intuitive plane. That's how I know my intuition be on point. Check this out. Okay. Number 0 meaning the numerology number 0 is the only number that represents all that is including all potential. Now, let me repeat that for those who didn't understand it. The number 0 meaning the numerology number 0 is the only number that represents all that is, including all potential. Separation doesn't exist. Indication that separation is possible also doesn't exist. In a numerology chart, the interpretation usually relates to infinite possibilities. You hear me? I told y'all I was an enigma. I'm different. I'm special. Any man to get me should appreciate me. In a numerology chart, the interpretation usually relates to infinite possibilities. All or nothing, anything or other barrier-free ideas. 0 is both closed and wide open. It means comprehensiveness, openness, wholeness, infinity. It's an all-inclusive number. In numerology, every number has an inherent meaning, a certain essence. A numbers chart meaning. The numerology reading aspect the number represents is derived from the number's inherent meaning. As an overview, the number 0 inherent meaning is a composition containing the ideas of wholeness, inclusiveness, comprehensiveness, infinite potential, all that is. Okay? We're here. Now, continue. The meaning of the number 0 are the interpretations of the essence in relation to its numerology chart position, or in relation to the situation or circumstances where the number occurs. Here's an example. Interpretation of the number 0. If the number 0 is in one or more challenge positions of the chart, it means the person is likely to either have few challenges or will feel or insist they have many. The 0 tends to bring in the energy that makes it possible for the person to determine their own challenges, but it doesn't necessarily come with information about how to do that. With a number 0 pertaining to something in a person's environment, interpret the situation as if it included a general representation or overview of something, an idea related to everything, a sharp limitation, a sense of endlessness, or idealistic expectations. Okay? The basic or core essence of 0. The deep down basic essence of the numerology number 0 is all that is, including all potential and all possibilities. Other meanings of the number 0 must take that vibration into account. The inherent meaning of the numerology number 0 is a composite of everything that exists, because the essence is all that is. Separation doesn't exist, nor does any idea of anything outside itself exist. Damn, that's deep. Woo, I got to repeat that. The numerology number 0 is a composite of everything that exists, because the essence is all that is. Separation doesn't exist, nor does any idea of anything outside it itself exist. The essence of that of wholeness. In other words, the numerology number 0 pertains to the idea of being complete in and of itself. Within the essence of the numerology number 0, anything and everything is possible. It is a state of potential, boundless potential. That's 0. That's how I know my intuition be on point. 0 is my intuition number, which means I'm highly intuitive. I kept telling y'all that shit. I can't make this motherfucking shit up.
Your subconscious, and it creates a feeling, which creates a vibratory frequency, right? So it's going to create a magnetic charge, right, or a repelling charge, right, within the body, right, and within the brain. So every time we look at a symbol, we're creating a frequency. You understand me?
Correct.
And within numbers, saying that number, right, that frequency is like, we know it as letters, right? But letters come from numbers.
Yes.
Right? And they have numerical value attached to it. That's why now we're living in the age of AI, which is 1-9, right? And I always get that breakdown of the AI as the artificial intelligence, artificial insemination, artificial ingredients, because that's man trying to play God.
Yeah.
Because that number 19 is a representation of God, that all 9.
Yeah.
So that masculine and that feminine that give birth, right? Number 0 being mind, which also I representate as darkness, right? And number 1 being thought, which I representate as light, which also is motion. And number 9, right, is growth or color, right? So it's giving birth, right? So when I think about that, and I think about the reality that we're living in right now, people in the science of where we are today, the young men, their minds are mixed. So I call them 9 minds. 9 minds are more the feminine mind, the intuitive thinking or intuitive feeling, emotional mind. The one is the logic, the rationality, the reasoning, right?
Yeah, and that's on the mental plane.
On the
You just
mental
said.
plane.
That's interesting.
So
Yes.
that if you are in balance, right, then that one always comes before that 9 because it filters first. So it has to go through that seat of that mental plane, then it goes to the emotional one, right?
And that would be 2, which is the emotional side. That's the next stage of it.
But nowadays, you have people have their 9 mind in front of their 1. So they're emotional first, right? And so a lot of people are emotional and they're feeding their subconscious nothing but emotions instead of logic and reasoning. So when I meet these young men today, they're imbalanced, right?
But that makes sense based upon the way the family is structured nowadays too, whereby at one point in time it was a given there would always be a mother and a father in the household. Fast forward to this present state we're in, majority of the time it's just a woman in the household.
That's a fact.
And a lot of the men are missing. And you can tell. So a lot of our men now are taking on ways of the mother. I don't think they mean to, but they don't have a model of a man in the house.
Right.
See, I grew up with 2 parents. So my father was an Aries, very strong-willed. So I grew up a certain way, you know, that how men should behave themselves. But nowadays, you've got situations that are totally different in terms of how family members are raised.
No, that's a fact because you know that represents, you know, that plane in the household is that sun. The father will represent that sun, and then there's 9 planets, which represents different emotional states.
Yep.
Right. But instead, you have the planets ruling the sun. Right. So with the mother in that representation of that feminine, she is programming the sun. So he doesn't get to understand that that's not the way it works. It's supposed to be that feminine operating in the orbit of the sun.
Yes,
so
exactly.
He doesn't know how to lead himself, essentially, because the father's supposed to be in that household creating that mathematical equation. That 1 and that 9 is supposed to be in
leadership.
So now, you know, when I was looking into the number 19, I was looking at like we are in, you know, the 9/11 era, right? Now that number 9/11 first started, I think it was 611. I can't remember what it was, but I know that it was, I think, Lyndon B. Johnson that issued it, and it was 19 members, right, that came into and switched it over to 911. And then I look at the synchronicity of the fact that on 9/11 they're supposed to be 19 hijackers, right, and a representation of a 9/11 paradigm, which means that they're an emergency. Because when that 9 is in front of those 1s, right, it's the emotion in front of the conscious and the subconscious, right?
But just here's the thing: if you add 911, if in the original version, although the 11 is considered a master number, it denotes also esoterically trials and tribulations, great difficulties to contend with. So when a person is dialing 911, it's not about inviting you to a party or social gathering. You know what I'm saying? They need some help.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and being able to recognize when you need help, I think is key. How does a person, matter of fact, on that frequency, how does a person, you know, see and observe the signs through numbers of recognizing when they need help or they're in an emergency?
To me, I think one of the things is like in all things, if you go to a counselor, no matter what form of the addictions you have, the first thing is to own it. Yes, I drink. Yes, I get high. Yes, I do that. That seems to always be the first stage towards recovery, is to admit it and own up to it. But why should I admit it when I can blame you?
Right.
See what I'm saying? And that's why the world is the way it is.
Okay. So I wanted people to get, so it's only 9 numbers. We went over the 1s, went over the 4s, went over the 5s, the 2s.
2 is always the number of unity. 2 is the number that has the balance, day and night, up and down, open and closed, male and female. It's always that balance in things. This is why 2s make excellent negotiators. This is why 2s bring parties together. 2 is also a very psychic and intuitive number. It is ruled by the moon in and of itself. And it also rules anything relating to the mechanical, mathematical sciences, computers, technology of the higher mind, things like that. 2 is known to go into the smallest of details. So people will say, well, 2s get caught up in the minutiae. But the way I explain it is like if you take the nuts and bolts off at the table you're sitting at or the chair I'm sitting on, all of this will fall apart. So these little nuts and bolts and screws that we don't see appearing obvious are the ones that hold up the bigger picture.
What about threes?
Threes is that represents the trilogy, the mother, the father, the child, the present, the past, the present, the future, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Three represents creativity, imagination. It is ruled by the planet Jupiter that denotes expansion. It denotes lady luck. If you go to an astrologer, the first thing they go on to see is where is Jupiter aspected in your chart, in what house, because that particular house will reflect the area of abundance that is likely to come into the house. Three is about expansion. Three is about imagination. Three rules foreigners, foreign countries, foreign languages. And threes, one of the things I love, well, see, I love all the aspects about the numbers, but threes I like. When you tell a three person you can't do something, they don't just accept it as blind faith. You know how you have an authoritative person says, well, you will never succeed. Well, with a three person, when you tell them they are going to fail, they jump to rise to the occasion. That's one of the strong points I like about threes.
Now we know number fours. You understand?
Yeah, fours represents foundation.
Yeah.
Fours represents the square. It represents boundaries, but it represents also the genius in man. It also represents sensitivity.
The world is built on force.
Yeah, everything you do practically. You know, the chair I'm sitting at, the table you're sitting at, whatever the case is. Yes, three represents a tripod of something from which that word comes from. The first word, tri, T-R-I. But without four, that is a foundation. So when you look at news, which is north, east, west, and south, means it's coming from all four directions.
Yeah, four corner contracts. Every paperwork that we sign has four corners.
Four represents the foundation. Anytime you build a structure, you always got to look at the cornerstone of anything. This building that we're in has some cornerstone for which the whole rest of this building was built upon.
So that makes me think that, you know, four represents the logic of man, because nothing in nature has corners like how man builds things, because he builds things in contraptions for control. Yeah. Right. So when we are peering through windows, it traps the energy. You understand me? Instead of creating circles, instead of creating any other shape, he builds it with these foundations of like bricks and floors and dimensions. Yeah. Because that's the dimension that he can control. You understand me? And so the architect of, you know, the black mind doesn't build everything in dimensions of four, right? We build everything with other different planes of existence as well. But this whole entire world is built on force.
Yeah. But you know what's interesting, because it made me think, if you look at all the planets in the heavens, at least in our solar system, whether it's Pluto, Neptune, Mars, Saturn, Venus, whatever, all the planets around. You don't see no square planets nowhere floating in this universe.
Because
not one.
That gives me to think, because, you know, when you look at the planets, right, none of them are perfect circles. Right. They're more like zeros, right, closer to it. You understand me? And that to me is that representation of, right, like, what is that planet before life? But when you put man on that, now God exists there. He multiplies the value of that planet. Right. And I believe that that's like us. Before we have God within our lives, right, we are nothing. But once we have God within their lives, it brings value, right, to us, and it multiplies who we are. Right. And so when we look throughout the universe, we're looking for God. We're looking for life. Right. Otherwise, we don't denote much value to that planet. So we can obviously see the 9 planets, but we're searching for God on that planet.
Yeah, there is always a high. I don't care what part of the world man has come from, whether it's the Aborigine or whatever the case is, we're always looking for something higher than ourselves.
Right.
And we can just sense it.
Right. But and as you said, though, there's only a certain percentage of us that's looking for higher, and we really influence the rest. So you got certain numbers that may exist on that mental plane and be looking out to the heavens trying to figure this thing out. And then they start to spread their thinking amongst everybody else. And then everybody else saying, I never thought about that. There was millions of people who looked up at the stars and never wondered how did they come about. But then there was one person that was just, man, what's going on up there? You understand me? Them Dogon people started charging.
I was going to say the Dogon people understood that.
Yeah, they understood. See, I believe, like, imagine if there's a tribe of people who are most of the tribe is all one particular type of number consciousness. So they're more intuitive and a higher plane of reasoning. And so you happen to get a cluster, the same way you get a cluster of stars, there's a little galaxy over there that mentally and intuitively they was able to have a certain understanding as they started to build with each other. Right? Because I'm at the wholehearted belief that, you know, everybody of course is different, right? We always talk about equal. We love to utilize that word because we feel like that word equal creates justice when it doesn't. I think difference creates more justice because it creates more understanding.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Equality leaves people confused.
Yeah,
because you got somebody short, you got somebody tall, and you say you're equal.
No, that's
right?
not equal.
It confuses people because we have to use our senses. We have to judge things, and now I'm looking at it, but you're telling me they're equal, but obviously they're not. So I think that we have to qualify that on different planes, right? Even people's souls are weighed differently. You understand me? When a person does something good morally, we consider that person to be more. So in no fabric of reality do we actually consciously judge people to be equal, right? It's only in this moral consciousness that's an idea in society that says that we got to say everybody's equal, but we're not.
But that's not. And this is why you can have a person walk into a room and their aura when they step in attracts everybody. And then you have another person step into a room with no aura at all, and people wouldn't even know they came much less went. That's all I'm saying, brother.
That's a fact.
That's the energy.
That's the energy. But and you have to know that that type of person can complement another energy. And I think the problem with the reality of telling people they equal is that it creates these egos to not represent themselves in their correct fashion. Right? Because this person was supposed to be the thinker. This person was supposed to be the visionary. This person was supposed to be the most beautiful person. They're supposed to suck out the air in the room because of who they are, the way that they're composed, their properties. Each person, if you were to give them, if we could figure out like an algorithm to break down the properties of different human beings and add it up, you're going to see different dominant vibratory frequencies that exist.
There's no question. That's why some numbers do better during certain times of days, like 8s and 7s and 9s tend to do better during the night. See, there are certain numbers that do well during the day, certain numbers well during the night. Number 3 is one of those numbers as well, both day or night, they got it. You know, this is why everybody don't go to bed at the same time, get up at the same time, dress the same way, eat the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many factors. So, for example, when I went to China, that's 12 hours ahead of us. When I went to Hawaii, that's 6 hours behind us. And in fact, it's so interesting because like the United States likes the number 4 here. When I went to China, their lucky numbers are the 6 and the 8. Those are the money numbers, okay? They don't like the word 4. 4 is not one of their lucky numbers. If I say 4 in Chinese, that sounds like the word death. You see what I'm saying? So every country, nation will have their numbers that they play upon. But it's regardless of the numbers, it sets off a frequency.
Right.
And what my goal is when I deal with my clients is, everybody says, man, that person was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, my focus is how can you be in the right place at the right time?
Right. Now, see, that's the key. Now, I want to go back over, selfishly, I want to go back over my months that you said was my best months.
Yes.
Which months?
Your best months are always in February, June, July, August, and September. When you look at when you started what you did, when you looked at when you moved to this place or that place or whatever the case is, you'll find that late January into February, then late May into June, July, August, and September.
And see,
important.
That's another thing about cycles, right? Because during the winter cycle, right, you know, for a lot of people, it's supposed to be not the cycle of you're trying to create things. Number one, it's a cycle of death, right? Because it's the winter times when things are dying and getting prepared for new growth. Right. So just as your body goes through cycles within, you know, 90-minute cycles throughout the day, right, which decrease over time. So at each cycle of your peak, that peak gets lower and lower until you start to fall asleep. Right. Same thing throughout the year. Right. You got your spring. Right. Or you have your fall. right? You have your spring, you have your summer, then you have your winter, right? So things are peaking within that summer range, right? Towards
spring,
that end
summer.
of that summer.
Yeah.
And now that's when these are where you protect the things you build. You understand me? And then you're coming up with new ideas. You're giving birth to new things. Like even in that range of September, from the number 9, which is a powerful number in understanding of specifically in birth. You have the first where you have a thought about something. Then you go to giving terms to that, right? So like within people look at January, and I think January is the worst month to try to start any New Year's resolution, which is why 90% of people fail. Because you're doing it in the worst month. You should be doing it in springtime.
It is in the period of Saturn.
Because Saturn is the planet of hard work.
Build up.
Right. So now, like
Saturn,
even with where we at in today's society, we're in a cycle of recession, right? So this cycle is when things are receding, right? In business, you have certain peaks. It reaches the top, then it has to recede. Then it reaches an average, right? So we can see what the real performance is. So you never grade a business by its peak cycle because it has to come down.
Listen, nothing stays at the top forever.
Right. So like when you understand that in our economic cycles is us being in a recession and trying to see if this recession goes deeper into a depression, is understanding.
Now my birthday number 12, which is because I was born on the 12th of January. The energy represented by the day of birth number represents a primary focus on a person has on their life and the approach they tend to take when pursuing goals and opportunities. Creativity and optimism are the hallmarks of the energy represented by the birthday number 12. It also brings inclination to be and act independent of what others may expect, and yet tends to be socially popular. It's a charismatic and enthusiastic energy that tends to inspire others with their creative endeavors. I've always been told I was charismatic. As I told everybody, I've been locked up, been in prison twice. I don't hide nothing. Because people can learn from my experiences, see. Of course, when you're locked up, you know what goes on in there. Now, when I was in jail, it was two girls, that were going together. And I wasn't, thinking about no shit like that. But because, we used to play cards, what you do. You play cards and stuff when you're locked up, spades and different games like that. And people have always been naturally drawn to me, even when I was a baby. My mother used to say it all the time. People were always drawn to me from a child. Now, the girl got mad because her girlfriend used to like to be around me. And I said, well, what? I said, you ain't got to worry about me because I don't get down like that. She said, so the girl finally admitted, she said, it's just you so charismatic. You're charming. That's what she told me. You're very charming. But I can't help that. I don't want the girl.
Okay, during these times is when you get rid of the things that you don't need, right? So businesses are getting rid of employees, right? They're getting rid of products that's not selling. They're getting rid of parts of their budget. It's the same cycle you should go through within your life. You're getting rid of people who don't serve your value. You're getting rid of things that you may have just held on to because you never had to think about it because you never had to adjust your budget, right? You never had to adjust your life to say, okay, well, listen, I got this friend that's always calling me. I can't afford the energy right now. I need focus.
There are times when you got to cut your losses.
Right. You certain TV shows I can't watch right now, certain people I can't be around, even your health cycle, certain things you can't eat right now.
Right.
Right. And understanding that in the winter hours, we get less sun. Right. So for Black people, this is a specific time to be cautious. Because we need more sun than anybody else.
We are children of the sun.
Exactly. Right. The sun loves us and we can absorb more than anybody, but it requires us to be in the sun longer than anybody. Right. But during these times, we go through, vitamin D deficiencies. So understand.
See, just like I tell people, you have certain tarot cards also associated with your birthday. This shit got levels to it. This shit deep. You hear me? Okay, I already know what my birth cards are. The moon and the hermit. The moon always come out of my personal reasons, the hermit too, because I stay in hermit mode. All right. See them right there? The moon and the hermit. Them my birth cards. The moon. Now, what are birth cards for those in the clouds? Birth card pairs are fields of energy that define a human life. When you know a person's birth date, you know their birth cards. And when you know their birth cards, you know the things about them that will never change from birth to death. No matter what happens in their lives, there are only 12 birth card pairs to share among us all. So there will be billions of individuals, each with a unique personality, who share the same birth cards. You need to be aware of that birth cards. You need to be aware that birth cards do not by themselves describe an entire human psyche, but they are the beginning, the foundation of a comprehensive understanding of identity. This bright is so small. Hold on a minute. Still small. Okay. Maybe if I turn it this way, it might be better. Okay. Nah, yeah, that's better there. Where was I at? But they are the beginning, the foundation of a comprehensive understanding of identity. They are like 12 great rivers, each creating a defining environment for the particular beings who spend their whole lives in them. Now let's see where we're at. The moon and the hermit. Birth card notes, moon/hermit. Imaginary, things to look at and contemplate. Postures, crawling/standing. The rawness of beginnings versus the fullness of completion. Colors, dark blue. I love dark blue. Purple and deep bright yellow. Luminous blue and gray. Deep, lurid versus high, clear consciousness. Landscapes, valley/peak. Low versus high. Traveling far versus climbing up. Symbols, moon/star, path, staff, pool, mountain, rich and varied landscape, simple, uncluttered landscape. All these contrasts suggest the difference between dark, rich, mysterious beginnings, and light, abstract, exalted endings. Foreground figures, crawfish/hermit, the two extremes of the journey of personal growth and spiritual evolution. See that? Astrology, Pisces is the moon. Sleep and dream, darkness. Light and shadow, fluid, shifting images, profound yearnings, deep waters. Virgo, hermit, observant, analytical, and smart. Rooted in detail, patient, industrious, a perfectionist, idealist, and purist, reaches for the high ground. The importance of night versus the importance of day, which is what the predilection, the importance of pain/pleasure, beauty, ugliness versus the importance of wisdom/ignorance, persistence, giving up. The world as mysterious and uncertain versus the world as challenging and straightforward. The moon and the hermit share extreme qualities, low and high, vague and precise, yearning and ambitious, obscure and clear, far and near, many voices in one voice, fluid and solid. For both the journey's the theme, for both the heights are the objective, for both illumination is the essence, while darkness is the matrix. Boom, I can't make it up. Let me say it again for you. For both the journey's the thing, the journey now, for both the heights are objective, for both illumination is the essence, while darkness is the matrix. One faces the darkness of the untraveled path ahead, while the other faces the darkness of the heights beyond reach. The light available to each leaves their darkness intact. The moon is the uncertainty at the heart of things, the unrealized and phantom possibility, the power of mutation and transformation. Shape shifting, unconsciousness, and identity offer multiple realities to reflect inner rather than outer landscapes. The job of the moon is to evolve, to move forward by inhabiting ever more stubble and elaborate forms, to experience challenge, growth, and renewal with each new version of itself. The hermit is finished. Final clarity that shines at the center of things. The distillation, the distillation of knowledge gained through effort, persistence, intelligence, and courage. Perfect faith and endless labor are rewarded by being lit from within. I tell you this all the time, as within, so without. He becomes a steady, continuous living light, a beacon to those who seek the outermost boundaries of personal growth. For those on the upward journey, the way is lit by those who have gone before. Unintegrated and imperfectly realized, the moon can be filled with nameless terrors and subject to depression. It may not trust what it sees or what it hears, and it is prone to believing the worst. It can be gulled into believing fantastic claims and stories. It may be drawn onto false paths without little or no reward at the end. It is subject to nightmares and may come to fear sleep. The hermit can be ambitious and lose sight of or never see how perfectly he can serve a higher power, or how pure he can become himself. He can be immersed in detail, careful of every step on the way to serving his own interests. He may be so practical and down to earth that mysterious and unlikely paths are rejected out of hand. He can become so absorbed in making his own way that his little time or patience for anyone else, and thus becomes isolated and emotionally barren. Together they travel from depths to the heights, exploring the shadows and the I can't pronounce it, precipices that wait for every traveler on the path to knowledge. They promise faithfully that the great journey of personal evolution can be completed, and they will show you the way. I see how all this intertwines, the birth chart, the numbers, the birth chart, it all entwines with your life path and stuff, with your purpose. See what I'm talking about? All this represents me to the fullest for those of y'all who kind of been somewhat know me, who've been following me, or who listen. I just can't make it up. I can't. I just can't. I just can't make it up. That's why I tell you, I be knowing shit. Just a Rider Waite deck here, but I really like the Master Tarot deck because the cards are bigger. And this is the deck that I use really for myself. This is one I like here. I kind of got a personal, as they say, I resonate more with these cards, I should say. Because I played with these more. I just can't make it up. Can't make it up, my loves. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Wands. People, I can't make it up. I cut the deck and what's in it, what I cut the deck, what it is. The motherfucking Hermit. I can't make it up. I'm shuffling the cards right here. I showed you the bottom card and I cut the deck and what was in it when I cut the deck, the Hermit. Boom. Class dismissed.